I think this is an important post from Dylan. I'm sick of reading comments online about how Elon is bad for Tesla and the company needs a more stable or traditional CEO. No, it actually doesn't. If anything, you need to go invest in a different company. Tesla would not be anywhere close to where it is today if it had some risk-averse leader calling the shots the past decade. Tesla still today would just be making Model S's and Model X's. Tesla has always been a high beta, risk-on stock with a mission of transitioning the world to sustainable energy. Doing so requires a bit of crazy. This doesn't mean you need to agree with everything Elon does, but if you don't like where the company is going, no one is forcing you to be a part of the ride. You can go invest in an ETF or a bond fund if you can't handle the ups and downs and uncertain times. The Elon bad programming is out of control and people have lost the ability to see the bigger picture. One thing I know for sure, it's going to be even more rewarding when Tesla is a multi-trillion-dollar company selling robotaxis and robots at scale profitably. If you are in the camp that thinks that will never happen, number one, you should not own Tesla stock, and number two, you're going to be on the wrong side of history in the end. I agree with that. And this is absolutely crucial. When this happens is less important than knowing that it is going to happen. This is a conviction you're only rewarded with after following, studying the company for years, not reading Reddit forums and legacy media headlines and watching Tesla bears on X. Tesla's market cap ceiling with a vanilla play it safe, don't rock the boat CEO would be significantly lower than what it is with Elon steering the ship, even if the direction at times in the short term doesn't make sense with the limited information we have. There's also clearly a massive amount of Tesla investors that FOMO'd in around the all-time highs and knew very little about the company and had the wrong expectations from the jump. Now they are reacting emotionally and looking to point the finger at anyone but themselves. I became a Tesla stock investor in early 2019, so of course, how I interpret some things are going to be a bit different from people who got in at the very peak. And when I put money into Tesla stock, I do it with an assumption that I'm not going to need the money for 10 years, just in case something really bad happens, because eventually I believe Elon Musk is going to turn things around and the stock is going to rally inevitably again. It's just a matter of time. And check this out. Elon Musk is saying Optimus will be amazing. What did Elon see? I thought he was maybe replying to someone else's post, but no, he put this on his main timeline and it already got 31 million views. I would definitely want to see a video of whatever just happened. If you really have low tolerance for risk, you should probably look into some portfolios like Golden Butterfly. The perpetual withdrawal rate, meaning you never lose the initial investment, sits at 5% per year based on a 40-year time period here. In the meantime, the classic 60-40 stocks and bond portfolio, yeah, that sits much lower at just 3%. And you have many 10-year periods where you might not do exactly great. Not really the case with the Golden Butterfly. I'm not saying invest your money here, I'm just giving you options. In fact, when my friends ask me, Matt, should I invest money into Tesla stock? By default, I always tell them no. And then a few of them come back to me days later, weeks later, oh, but this, and this is gonna make the stock jump, so I think it's actually a good investment. But only a few do that, because most say, oh, okay, well, okay, I don't want to do hours and hours and days and weeks and months of research, so I'll just forget about it. And it's not just about knowing everything that's happening and experiencing FSD and modeling it. It's also about being extremely emotionally strong, which definitely most people are not. This is super interesting data from Cox Auto EV study. 72% of people considering an EV know someone that owns one versus 17% of people considering that don't know someone. This generally points in the direction that the more EVs are on the road, the easier eventually it is going to be to sell them. Right now, we are just going through this period where early adopters already have EVs, and now we need to target the mainstream. And this is wild. Of people considering an EV, only 29% are aware of federal battery regulation that guarantees an EV/hybrid battery will last 8 years or 100,000 miles. 86% of folks considering an EV are more likely to buy one because of said regulation. Of those considering an EV in the next 1 to 2 years, 98% of them could be enticed to purchase an EV earlier if they were cheaper. Shockingly, nearly half aren't familiar with the EV tax incentive. And Cox Automotive expects 79% of the buying public in the US to consider a new or used EV within 12 months by 2028. Speaking of wild things, this Ford pickup truck driver takes a back seat literally at 80 miles per hour on cruise control. What's wrong with people? And why isn't Dan O'Dowd criticizing this publicly like he is criticizing Tesla? Now, we know that the US is about to quadruple EV tariffs up from 25 to 100%. And AJ says what markets appear to not yet priced in is that the EU is likely to take similar measures. Stocks of Chinese automakers have barely moved yet. Now, Polestar is supposedly going to be affected by this Sawyer, but Polestar 2, which should be manufactured in South Korea and exported to the US, likely is not going to be affected. But it's not like Polestar is doing well anyway. Elon responded to this post from Farzad. The US says, here you go, China, please make everything for us so it's super cheap and we can buy it all. China says, okay, cool, here's a ton of cheap EVs. The US man says, how dare you destroy our economy? Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration forced technology transfers. And if you want to build a factory in China, generally speaking, you need a local partner. Tesla did not, so that was good. But it's not like if you want to build a factory in the US, you have to, it's mandated to do it with a company in the US. No, you can just own it and build it yourself without partnering up with a US company. Therefore, you can avoid technology transfers. But Elon says China is awesome. Those who have not visited have no idea. Compare high-speed rail there and here. This is the first Cybertruck that I have seen with actual serious damage. And I'm pretty sure whoever was in that Cybertruck was very happy that he or she or they were in the Cybertruck. Even these doors got destroyed. So you know how the strike expanded in Sweden against Tesla? The irony is that Sweden is one of the very few countries in Europe that is keeping pace with Q1 so far this quarter. Well, this is good for investors. US Core Consumer Price Index came in at 3.6% for April, right in line with expectations. After 4 misses in a row, this is a positive. This is the lowest core CPI since the start of the inflation cycle. Lower inflation makes interest rates go down sooner, making stocks rally. Xiaomi to add a second shift in June, boosting SU7 plant capacity to 20,000 EV units monthly. So they're doing all right so far, it seems. Xiaomi delivered 10,000 SU7s within 43 days of its first delivery. That's it for today's video. Make sure to click the like button so that we can make sure that there's no shadow ban on this channel. There's another video from my other channel showing that it's only getting about half of the views it would normally get because my videos are only shown to about 50% of the regular viewers in the first few days. And then after the first 3 days, it does push it out a little bit more, but because it's no longer news, it's old, no one's interested. So I appreciate everyone clicking the like button. That really helps. And going forward, I'm only publishing the full daily news videos on this channel, not on the old channel anymore. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Otherwise, YouTube may stop showing you these videos completely. Subscribing sends YouTube a strong signal that this is a channel you want to watch.